tearing up the back lawn, so it looks like a disaster.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm gonna put more stones in.
Those rugrats. Those rugrats. Oh, there they go. I'm going to stop that stream. I'm going to try one more time with the Facebook. I just don't understand. I don't understand, Tanya. When they do the updates, things just go awry. And things, I can get up to a point through the Facebook Live and it just sits there. It just doesn't want to do it. It just doesn't want to do it. Okay. 3 more minutes. I'm just trying to do this Facebook one more time. And then we'll start doing the show. Oh, look at him. He's running around the backyard.
You can see it?
Yeah, he was just running back. Yeah, he's right there. To your right. Oh, they're playing there.
I know. They're destroying my backyard. I like to bring their little nets.
That's
You have so much land down that they can play on, and yet they play in the backyard.
well, that's good. As long as they don't.
Dog fight.
Right? Oh, check that one more time. All right, we're just gonna get going here. Hey everybody, welcome to the live chat with Tanya Roberts. Today is Wednesday, Hump Day, the 13th of May, which, as Tanya and I were just talking, Hump Day doesn't mean jack quat.
Anything anymore. Hi guys.
Welcome to the Zoom. I'm sorry that the Facebook Live was not working. They updated us today, and I have tried for hours to get on from Zoom to Facebook, and well, this is just going to be a taped thing, and you guys will have to watch it then. If you are in the Zoom room today, please raise your hand. If you want to chat on camera with Tanya, I will bring you into the room, and then, like magic, we'll be talking to them. That's crazy. If you don't want to come on camera and you just have a question, you can put it in the chat box and I will read that off throughout the hour. All right, our first person we're going to bring in, Tanya, is Frederick. I believe we've seen this is Frederick coming in again. I think we've seen Frederick. Frederick. And Frederick is in the room. Go ahead and turn on your camera if you can.
Can't see him.
There he is.
Jim.
No.
How you doing, Frederick?
Let me turn your.
There we go. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. Hey, so.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you.
Cool.
So after our video chat last time, I did watch some of your old movies, View to a Kill, and because they're made available on Amazon recently. And I finally realized what went wrong the first time. Like for me, when I watched it as a kid, I was kind of walking out there, kind of something seemed a little off. And then I watched it again and then watched some of your other work. And then I finally realized, it finally dawned on me. I guess up until then, you'd always played these sexy but assertive characters. So like, you know, even the small ones like Forced Entry, you kill the bad guy at the end. And even that Blink and You Miss You, movie Racket with Burt Convey, you were sexy and assertive. And then, of course, on Charlie's Angels, you were assertive. And on Vegas, you were assertive. Even Tourist Trap, you know, when you knock out the bad guy with the mannequin hand, I was like, I remember as a kid watching, I was screaming, hey, he's still alive, keep hitting him, you know, but the story's got to move on. And I realized that the character of Stacey Sutton was much more passive.
Very passive. They gave the gutsy role to Grace Jones.
Yeah, and I
a good girl.
Yeah, and I thought that's why that was the missing part. That's why I was going in. I didn't realize, even as a kid, I was expecting a extension of your Julia Rogers character from Charlie's Angels in that role, and then seeing Grace Jones. Oh, this will be this. I remember going in now and realize it. Going in, I was like, oh, this is it. It's going to be May Day. Grace Jones fighting an extension of Julia Rogers, because you had already fought hand to hand in Charlie's Angels. Oh, and then it didn't happen. Then I realized, oh, that's why. That's why I walked out. All this time I thought it was because, oh, the stunts were a little off, or maybe Roger Moore's too old or whatever. But then I realized, no, it's because how they portrayed your characters. So I guess my question is, were you surprised how they portrayed you, given how you were portrayed in all the previous work you did?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. And they normally don't have two bad girls. So I was the good girl, that's it.
Well, I figured you'd be an assertive good girl. Like, I was actually leaning.
Yeah, I know, I was a passive good girl. Yeah. The only assertive scene I had, they cut out.
Oh, bummer. Okay. And then I guess, were there any props or costume outfits from your previous films that you wanted to keep? Like, for instance, most famously, Samuel L. Jackson kept the lightsaber from when he did the Star Wars movies and had it engraved.
I kept a few of the outfits.
Oh, nice. Were there anything in particular, like, would you have wanted to keep Sheena's bow, for example, the bow and arrow?
Oh, from Sheena, I kept...
Or anything in general, were anything you want to keep, any previous movie you did, were there any props you want to keep or outfits?
I kept the outfit from Tourist Trap, and I kept the outfit from Sheena, and I kept two of the dresses from A View to a Kill.
Really?
And otherwise, I can't think of any other.
Right. That's pretty amazing.
After admitting to an affair with a campaign staffer.
And I guess the other question would be, well, a piece of trivia for you. Did you know that you beat out a young Demi Moore when you got the role of Curie for Beastmaster?
No, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
That's a good piece of trivia. And now we know what I'm going to look at next time I come to the house, Tanya, all your dresses from View to a Kill.
Yeah, well, they're all packed somewhere, but they're...
Let's lose signal.
They'll fit me?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I lost signal for a second there.
No problem. Well, thank you, Frederick. Thank you so much for dropping by again today.
Yep. Thank you very much.
And be safe.
So that's fantastic. I didn't know you had those dresses. You're holding out on me, Tanya.
I know, holding out on you.
Coming into the room, we have Philip.
Philip.
Yes.
Hey, Philip, how you doing? I can't see you yet.
Takes them a second to turn the. Oh, there we are.
Hey, Philip, how you doing?
Hi, Tanya. How you doing? Good to see you again.
Good to see you. I'm doing great. You know, hanging in.
Yeah.
You know, it's hanging at home, but I got my dogs, and so I'm not so lonely.
Okay. How was your week till now?
Good. How about yours?
Well, working a lot, strolling a little bit down the road in the city, in Madrid, and well, it's everything's okay. So I had today. I just had. Sorry, tell me.
So is Madrid open?
No. Half of Spain has gone to a first phase of deconfinement. But Madrid, which is a 4 million people city, it's always closed, let's say. So we still can have a walk from 6 to 10 in the morning and 8 to 11 in the evening. And we can go to the supermarket. But I think that they are saying that from next Monday, maybe we go to the next phase, and some terraces of restaurants will be open and we will have a more normal life. But we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
Everything is uncertain.
Some of the places are open only for pickup here. You
Yeah.
can't actually go in and sit down. And they're going to lift our lockdown in July now, I heard. So
Okay.
we have a long time to go.
Yeah, and there's a long time to go here too. We have to be patient. Today I had two questions and just a little favor at the end. The first question, I wanted to know if you remember the day or the moment you were informed that you got the parts of the Charlie's Angels. What was your feeling, or what you were doing that day, where you were? Do you remember that precise moment?
Exactly. What happened was Aaron Spelling called me up the night before and said, we're still deciding on who's going to be the Charlie's Angel, but we'll let you know at 6 a.m. We'll give you a phone call if it's you, and there'll be a limousine to pick you up, and then you'll go to a photo session. And he knew all the time, but he didn't tell me. So I was wondering what was going on. I went to sleep and I got the phone call and they said, your limo's outside. And I went straight to a photo shoot. And that was how that happened.
So that was sudden.
Yeah, he just kind of didn't want anyone to know.
Okay, great. And I wanted to know, what was a normal day when you were shooting? Was it all shooting? Did you have any free time, or was it very, very hard scheduled?
Well, no, we worked a lot. We worked 5 days a week, and we had a lunch break, of course. And otherwise, you go to hair and makeup, and then you'd go on the set and you'd work. And, you know, on occasion, you'd get a break because you weren't in that scene. And, you know, but mostly it was work, but it was fun work.
Okay, great. And the little favor, I told you the first time I spoke with you that I had met you with a friend of mine, a Paris friend of mine in Heathrow, in the Autographica in Heathrow. And I just wanted to know if you could say hello, Isabel, because my friend is Isabel and she looks at these chats on Facebook. Just if you can say hello, Isabel, so she can...
You got it. Hello, Isabel. Hope you're doing great.
Okay, thank you very much. You're always great and nice. Thank you, Mike. Thank you both, and have a very, very good week. And stay safe.
Too. Stay safe.
Thank you both. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was sweet. Next, we have, it's Galaxy, but I think it's, his AKA is Galaxy. Galaxy, you can turn on your camera.
Galaxy is his name?
No, I think it's hello. What's your name? How are you?
Hi.
Let me turn your speaker on. There you go. Now you can talk.
Hi.
What's
Hey, Mike. You hear me?
We can hear
Yeah,
you.
I hear you.
Hello, Tanya. Hello, Mike. I'm Flecha from Argentina.
Oh, cool. Did I speak to you last week?
No, my English is so poor.
You're what?
My English is poor.
Oh, it's not poor. Hey, it's better than my Spanish.
I from Argentina. I am look your films when my is little, my childhood.
He was a fan of you when he was a child.
Ah, ok, así es, tal cual.
Cool, cool. Yeah.
Well, claro. Bueno, my question is, tell me everything from the filming of Sheena. What do you remember in
Oh,
general?
wow. I remember so much. I remember riding through a herd of wildebeests and hartebeests bareback on an Arabian horse who was painted to look like a zebra. And I remember the archery classes I had to take, and I also took trapeze to learn how to swing from one vine to the other. And working with the lion was great. There was no problem there. And it was just a really good shoot. It was great to be in Kenya. I had never been there before. And I love animals, so it was really a total win-win situation for me. I loved it.
I love the film.
Oh,
I love the film. I love the film. I love everything. I keep press kit, lobby cards, posters, Playboy, too. Last question. Are there delayed scenes? Do you remember from Sheena?
The
from
what?
Sheena, that,
Delayed scenes.
Oh, your favorite scenes from Sheena.
oh, my favorite scenes.
Or delayed.
Delight? Oh, deleted scenes.
Deleted scenes.
Deleted scenes. I don't think there were any deleted scenes that I'm aware of. I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. Maybe there were, but I'm not aware of it.
Uh-huh.
We did a lot of shooting, so you know.
Uh-huh. Good. I love you, Tanya. Aquí.
Yes, and be safe yourself.
Yes. Sí. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. Bye-bye.
And we are bringing in Jeff next. Hi, guys. Sorry,
Who are we bringing in?
I'm bringing Jeff in. I'm bringing Jeff. No, here he comes. Here he comes. Hey, Jeff. It's coming. He's coming. If anybody in the Zoom room,
Coming down the trail.
if anybody in the room wants to be on camera, please raise your hand. It's on below in the white box that you're in the attendees box. I don't know where he's left. He's gone someplace. So we're going to bring in Eric also. They might have got lost. Also, when I bring you in, it's going to bump you out of the panelists and bring you into the other room. So don't be scared about that, guys. Don't be scared, okay? Eric, go ahead and turn on your camera. Let me see. He is on his way in. Hello, Eric. How are you today? Up.
Eric?
There he is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Oh, yeah, we're wearing your Charlie's Angels shirt.
And my friend made it for me.
Oh, cool.
My friend made it for me for my birthday last year.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I love it. So, how are you?
I'm terrific. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Our COVID count at I work at a hospital, and our COVID count is low.
Oh, you work at a hospital.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you scared that you catch it?
No, I mean, it's my job. I just do what I got to do. It's
Wow.
all. What's that?
Have any of your coworkers gotten it?
Yeah, actually, my friend Ashley was out of work for 2 weeks. She just came back last night.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's scary. This whole thing's scary.
Yeah, she had to isolate herself in her room for like 10 days from her family. She has 2 little girls, and it was sad, but she got through it. She's
She
doing
didn't
okay.
have to go to the hospital.
What's that?
She didn't go to the hospital.
She had to get the test, and then they told her that she had to be out of work for 2 weeks to quarantine,
Yeah,
and that was that. And she came
yeah,
back.
God, it's just the weirdest thing that's ever happened in my life. I
I know.
can't believe I've been locked up in my house for 3 months.
I know, but at least we have the stuff nowadays to be able to chat and like stuff like that. So
Yeah, that makes it a lot better. You can reach out and, connect with people even though you're at home.
yeah. So I do have a question. I just watched Legal Tender recently, and in the movie, it seemed like your voice was overdubbed.
You're right. You're right, it was.
How,
And
why?
that's because the budget was, they had hired the guy we wanted to do the music, and the producer took the money and hired someone for much, much less. And that was my way of rebelling. And so they did. That's very good of you to notice that. Not too many people do.
Well, I just was like, it just doesn't, because everybody in the movie seemed like they were talking normal, but then it came to your part, and I was like, what is happening?
Well, I was never normal. No, yeah, that's what happened. You're the first person who's ever reminded me of that.
And then Morton Downey Jr., I remember him being like a big personality in the 90s, and I was just curious what it was like to work with him.
He was great. He was a really fun guy, had a young wife, and he was terrific. He was always up, very animated, very full of energy, and it was terrific working with him. We became friends.
That's nice. All right, that's all my questions for today.
Well, great, Eric.
Okay. Well, you stay safe.
You too, Tanya. You too, Mike.
Keep wearing that t-shirt. It looks great on you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Did you have to redo the whole film? ADR? Did you ADR the whole film, Tanya?
The woman who did it, who sounded like me, I wouldn't do it. And it was the Weinstein brothers, as a matter of fact. It was their movie. And I said, I'm not doing it because they stole our budget for the music. And and I didn't.
That's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I haven't thought about that in a long time.
We're going to bring in Greg. Greg's not on the list anymore. I don't know where he is. We're going to bring in Sean. Oh, no, I have. Hello, Jeff. We have you sideways.
Yeah. What's your name?
It's Jeff, and you have to hit the audio for the camera. Yep, your audio is still not connecting.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Now I can hear you. What's your name?
Sorry, I'm on a phone. This is Jeff again from West Virginia.
What's your name again?
Jeff from West Virginia again.
Hi.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Mike. This is Jeff again from West Virginia.
How you doing today?
Oh, it's another beautiful day here in the Mountain States. So I just wanted to chat with you and see how you're doing.
I'm doing great, under lockdown still, playing with my dogs and hanging out at the house, and there's really nothing I can do. I did go out one day to deposit some checks in the bank, and that was the last time I went out. And the first time, I might add. I hadn't been out of the house for 3 months. I was so paranoid about this disease.
Yeah,
How about you? Are you
back to some
under lockdown?
we're getting back to some normalcy. We're opening in phases like some other states.
But like what, restaurants?
Restaurants are going to be opening like right now. They have like outdoor dining, but I think
right.
next week they will be having like indoor dining, but at like a 50% percentile
Right.
of some people, and you know, people wearing masks. And
Yeah.
it's just, you know, it's going to be a while before I think we get back to some normalcy.
Yeah, they said July for us. But
Yeah.
they are going to be opening some restaurants with the same thing. One table, no one, the next table, someone can sit. But I don't know when that's going to happen. You know, if they, you know, I just don't know. I keep hearing different stories. And I, as a matter of fact, I had a doctor's appointment today, and I did it over the telephone because I didn't want to go to the office, and he had been having lots of patients do it over the telephone. So, you know, it's weird. Life has really changed.
Yeah, I wanted to show you that this is my original copy of View to a Kill soundtrack.
Oh.
And I mean, this is not a reproduction. This is the original that dates back, I don't know how many years now that movie's come out. So anyway, that's my collection. But I hope you're well and stay safe. And thanks for chatting with me. And I'll talk to you soon again.
Oh, sure. And you stay well, too. Great to talk to you.
Good to see you, Jeff.
All right. Take care.
Enjoy.
Thanks, Tanya. Bye-bye.
That was great. Do you have that, the album, Tanya?
No, never gave it to me.
They never gave it to you?
No.
Why? That's crazy.
I know.
You get the short end of the stick every time.
Yeah, I get the fuzzy end of the lollipop.
We have Greg in the room now, Tanya. Hi, Greg.
Hi there. Can you hear me okay? Hi, Tanya.
How you doing?
Hi, Angel. Wow, it's
How
so...
are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Where are you calling from?
I'm from Scotland.
Scotland. Oh, wow.
Hi.
Beautiful.
From Edinburgh.
From where?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Sure.
Edinburgh.
My mother is from England, and she was from, I can't remember what, Oldham, Manchester.
Oh, yes, uh-huh.
Yeah, and we went and stayed with her mother 3 times during the time I was growing up, and I don't know if we made it to Scotland, but it was really beautiful, and I hear Scotland's gorgeous, huh?
Oh, it is. It is. I was in Los Angeles a couple of years ago. That was fun.
Oh, yeah? How'd you like it?
It was good. I went to Farah's grave. That was obviously sad. So, but a friend took me and they went, Farah Fawcett's here. So I saw Farah's grave. Yeah. But yeah, I've just actually bought the complete collection of Charlie's Angels.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was a wee bit disappointed. I thought that they might have touched up the pictures better. You know, it was still quite grainy. I thought it'd be nice if they'd really polished the picture up, you know.
Oh, yeah? I didn't notice. Well, I don't watch him that much.
Which version did you get?
I got the American version, the Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
They're cleaner, but they didn't really take any time to clean the actual film itself.
Yes, that's true, but I still really enjoyed it. I just really wanted to ask Tanya, what are your memories of David Doyle?
My memories?
Of David Doyle?
He was a great guy. He really taught me a lot. That was my first real, you know, breakout part. And he taught me a whole lot of things, the little subtleties of acting, and was always sweet and paternal, and I really liked him. He was a great guy.
He's so good, isn't he? As part of the extras, they had the 2011 version of Charlie's Angels, and I didn't like it.
I'm sorry, your accent's throwing me.
I watched the remake of Charlie's Angels.
Oh, yeah, you didn't like it?
No, because Bosley was this young guy. It didn't have the humour of the older Bosley, and I mean the actors were all very good. I don't mean that, but it just wasn't. It didn't have the humour and the charm of Cheryl Ladd, Tanya Roberts, Kate Jackson, Jacqueline Smith, David Doyle. You know, you guys made it. You know, at the time people sneered at Charlie's Angels, but look at it, 40 years later, and people are buying the DVDs and the Blu-rays, and it was a good show.
Yeah, it was a fun show to do, really fun. I loved it. It was a good show. It was a good show because we wore great outfits. There was a lot of fashion in the show. There was a lot of running with guns. It was one of the first detective movies, except for the one that was Policewoman. That was before us. But this was the first 3 women detectives, and so it was, you know, kind of a step ahead for women. Now
Definitely. I really enjoyed. I liked all the Angels. I liked Shelley Hack. I liked yourself, and I really think Cheryl Ladd really saved the show, because with Farrah leaving, Cheryl came in and was so. I really think Cheryl Ladd came in at the right time and really helped the show.
Yeah, she did. Because once Farrah left, they thought it was all over.
And I like how they made Chris Monroe funny, and she made mistakes, and she was the rookie angel, and it just all really worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Sure did.
And it's lovely to speak to you.
Great to speak to you.
Have a good day, Greg.
And you, Mike. Take care, Tanya.
Thanks. You take care too.
You're a lovely lady.
Bye-bye.
Now we're bringing in Sean into the room.
Sean?
Sean.
John?
Sean. Sean.
Sean?
Sean. S-E-A-N. Sean.
Oh, Sean.
Like Sean Connery.
I'm hearing things.
Oh, it's Corona head. It's a Corona head. Sean's turning on his camera now, and
hey, Sean, how you doing?
Hi there, Tanya. Hi there, Mike.
How are you?
So, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. And how are you, Mike? How are you, Tanya?
I'm okay. I'm a little claustrophobic from 3 months in the house, but
yes,
you know,
yes.
it must be the same for you, right?
Yeah. I mean, over here, obviously, there's isolation all over the world. And in Oxford, I'm in Oxford, and so there is the same thing: lockdown, isolation, and everything. Tanya, my question to you is about when you chose your films or TV content, TV film. Did you choose by looking at the script, or was it the name of the director? And my other question was, when you got your part for View to a Kill. Now this is a bit of a story which I want to say. I was in Kolkata, which is called Kolkata now, Calcutta. I was doing my further education there, and we got information Roger Moore was leaving. So Roger Moore, the late Sir Roger Moore, who I met some years ago in London, Piccadilly Circus. So we got the information that he was going to leave James Bond from Octopussy, and then then we got the information that he was going to leave for View to Kill. So Timothy Dalton's name was coming up regularly, and I think his name came up in 1969 when Sean Connery was leaving. So did you think that Sir Roger Moore would be, when you got the part for Stacey Sutton in View to Kill, did you think that Sir Roger was going to be the James Bond for you? Or did you think that Timothy Dalton could come in, or somebody else would come in?
I wasn't sure at the time when I was hired. But I found out soon thereafter that this was going to be his last Bond. and
Right.
then
Right.
Daniel Craig came in. So yeah, it was his last, but he was great. He went out like a gentleman. He was.
Yes, I mean, it was very exciting. I mean, to see him for a mature, I'm also mature now, but at that time when I was young, I mean, wow. So Roger Moore coming back in another film, you know, James Bond film, it was fantastic. And especially Duran Duran's music helped, you know, to uplift the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just showing you, this is Charlie's Angels, which I've got from Japan. And I don't know if you can see it clearly. Yeah, this is the first season 1, and this is the back. And I really like the way they've set it up, you know, the presentation and everything. Now, I'm actually looking for season 5, which you're in, Charlie's Angels. Now, to be honest, the cover for Charlie's Angels season 5 isn't really fantastic. And I'm waiting for something like this for season 5, which you're in. And so I hope to see a DVD cover version which does justice for you, Jacqueline Smith, and Cheryl Ladd. Yes. So, you know, I mean, I hope to see a better cover version. Yes, but I'm looking for something a bit more, you know, a bit more presentation-wise, a bit more classic-wise.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe one of these days.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Mike. Take care. Stay safe and stay positive.
Be safe and stay positive too.
So his other question was, how did you pick your roles? Was it the director or was it the actual? How was that? What did you do?
Script.
The script mostly, the character?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good way of going. We're bringing Scott Johnson into the room. We've seen Scott before. Hopefully we'll see what his lighting is today.
Lovely.
Hi, we can hear you. Hold on a second. We can't see.
My dogs are making a racket. Sorry.
Well, look at that background, Tanya.
Hey, I'm trying. Definitely trying.
It's Tanya.
Hey, Tanya. Hey, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing most excellent. And yourself?
I'm doing great, except I'm getting a little claustrophobic, but I'm doing great.
Did you say you've been locked up in your house for 3 months?
Yeah, I went out once.
And I was the only person to come over.
That's right, and Mike came over. But otherwise, yeah, for 3 months. Well, have you been going out a lot?
Well, actually, I've been working throughout all of this. Actually going to my office, but I'm the only one there at the time.
So what do you do?
I work for a Chamber of Commerce in Lakewood, Washington.
Oh, cool.
I'm the office manager, so that means I do a little bit of everything.
Great. So you've been working out of your house?
3 days a week I work from home, and then Mondays and Fridays I go into the office, take care of things.
And are there lots of people in the office?
Nope, I'm the only one there right now because of, I still call it the lockdown, but because of the lockdown, our lobby has been closed.
Oh, yeah.
But I go in to return phone calls and just take care of stuff I can't do remotely.
Yeah, God, this is a freak out, isn't it?
It is. I just can't imagine not getting out every once in a while.
Yeah, I know. Well, I take my dog for a walk, for like a hike, because I live in very hilly Hollywood Hills. And I take her out most mornings for about an hour and a half or something like that. And that I do really early in the morning when there's no one else out there. Because I heard you can even catch COVID-19 from your dog.
Yes, I've heard that too. Yes, I've heard that too.
I can't believe it.
Well, I just hope that part of it isn't true, because it's like, to be safe.
You have a dog?
I have 2 cats, and unfortunately one was just diagnosed with asthma last week.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
and I'm gonna have to learn how to. I'm getting an inhaler for her and an apparatus to put around her mouth, and I don't know how in the world I'm gonna be able to do that, but I'm gonna have to learn.
Yeah. How old is she?
She's about 4 years old,
Oh, she's just a baby.
and she's always been indoors, so it just surprises me that she has asthma.
Wow. You don't smoke, do you?
I do not.
I wonder how she got asthma. That's weird.
It is.
But you'll be able to take care of it with the stuff they're going to give you, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That's good.
Well, my question for
How
you,
much animals mean to me. I have 2 dogs. And if anything happened to one of them, I'd go crazy. I love them so much.
I know the feeling, definitely know the feeling. Well, my question for you this week is, when you filmed Hearts and Armor, was that supposed to be like a mini series, or was that to be a theatrical release?
That was supposed to be, it was released theatrically in Italy, but it never made it to the big screen here. It went straight to video, but it wasn't a series. It was just a movie.
Okay, because it was just when the thing about that movie is it just kind of doesn't really have a beginning, and it really doesn't kind of have an ending. It just has like a story being told between the two.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that way. But at least I got to work in Sicily, which was beautiful, and Mount Etna, where the volcanoes came, so everything was, all the hills were black with volcanic ash, so it was real interesting.
Well, very cool.
That's cool.
All right, well, thank you. And again, good seeing you, and I'm glad you both are doing very well.
Thanks, I'm glad you're doing well.
Thank you.
Good background, Scott.
Bye now.
All right, bye.
So we
Mike, I gotta take a pee.
Okay. We're taking just a moment, guys. If you want to chat with Tanya, we have a couple more slots. Just raise your hand. I have Philip and Andrea and Lane still in the lineup. And then if there's anybody else, please let me know. If you have any questions and you don't want to come on camera, you can put it in the web chat in the bottom here. We're taking just a moment for a break with Tanya. I hope you guys are doing okay with the stay-at-home orders and COVID and staying safe and using your mask and honestly just being, you know, as safe as you can in this crazy world that we're living in right now. I'm having a Wednesday Cornetini cocktail. I hope you are too. Let's see what else. I'm just looking, I'm reading. I can't read and talk. Can anybody read and talk at the same time? I know I can't. I am not, the older I get, the less multitasky I can get. You know, I can't walk and talk at the same time anymore. I can't shop and talk and be on the phone. I can't, I have like zero focus on anything. Oh, that's nice. That's a good question. Someone asked about a modeling question. I'm going to ask that in a second. These are all great questions, guys. Oh, welcome back, Tanya.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. I had a question. A gentleman from Europe who is head of your European fan club. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he asked the date you married Barry. Do you know your anniversary or your date when you married Barry?
You know, we never celebrated it. We thought it was bad luck. And I don't remember when we got married, but it was definitely in the 70s.
Well, that's good. Well,
yeah, we had a long marriage.
You guys did. I remember I met you, the only time I met you guys were at the ice cream shop.
I know, I remember that so well.
That was crazy. And
Yeah.
my friend ran away because she was like, I was like, that's Tanya Roberts. And we had just done an interview before. And then I turned around and Jules had run out the side of the door, and I was like, where'd you go? Where'd you go? She was more nervous about meeting anybody. Anyway, that's a little story. Hello, who do we have here? Hey, Philip. Hi. Welcome back.
Hi, how are you? Hi, Tanya. Hi, Mike.
Mike, what's your name?
I'm Philip. We talked last week.
Philip. Oh, hi.
Hi, yeah.
Oh, now I recognize you. I wasn't looking at your face.
Yes.
Yeah, how are things?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm terrific. I mean, considering I'm locked up in the house. But
Yeah.
I have my dogs, and so I can go out and take her for a walk in the morning. But you know, it's kind of a little claustrophobic, don't you think?
It is, yes. And you have about 3 more months, they just said, right? Did they extend?
Yeah, how about you?
They have not extended us in Chicago yet, but we're anticipating an extension, yeah.
Well, because I've heard there's been all kinds of demonstrations against the shut-in.
Yes, there have. I've seen that a lot.
Really bad ones.
Yeah. People bringing weapons and things. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we haven't had any of that here. Everyone's, you know, complying with the law and nothing. There's been no, I mean, there's been a couple of people with placards, but basically nothing like Chicago. I heard Chicago was really, they were getting fuming.
Yeah, you know, it's the Midwest always seems to be a little heightened with their emotions when it comes to things like that.
Yeah.
Last week we talked and you said you were having some trouble sleeping, and I didn't know if your anxiety had gone down a little bit from the, you know, you were waking up just because in the middle of the night, just with some anxiety over the pandemic. How have you been sleeping?
Well, I've never been a great sleeper, but I think it's definitely related to the pandemic. It's just everything's so unreal and everything's so, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and you're afraid you might catch it. You can't see anybody, and I think it's just disrupts your whole life so much that it is hard to sleep. For me.
For sure. Yeah, I get it. I wanted to ask you today, who are some of your favorite like musicians? Like what kind of musical artists do you enjoy or have you enjoyed from the past?
Oh, I love the Stones. I love the Beatles. I love, let me see. I love J-Lo. I love, I can't think of her name right now. The one who's on Katy Perry.
Okay.
And I'm also a big jazz fan. I love John Coltrane and Miles Davis and Thelonious Monk, and I also like classical music. So I like all kinds.
Good, nice. Well, that's everything I had for today. Oh, I wanted to tell you in 2 days on Friday, your Charlie's Angels season should be coming up on the syndication. Because they're finishing season 4. So I know you said you don't watch a bunch, but you know, your season starts Friday.
Oh, cool. Thanks for telling me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It was nice seeing you again. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Tanya.
Stay safe.
Right,
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We have a question in the Zoom chat. In the time when you were a model for Ultra Bright,
Oh, good God, who knows that?
was it for television or just magazine?
Somebody knows that.
But did you do TV? Did you do commercials or just print?
Commercials.
All right, we're gonna have to find that.
I started with commercials. Ultra Bright. That was the name of the toothpaste back then.
Yes.
I bet you never heard of it, Mike.
Oh, I've heard of it. Oh, I've heard.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, yeah.
Well, great.
Yeah.
We'll have to try to dig that up. Show it sometime.
Yeah.
And we have Andre. Andre, correct, in the room?
Yes. Hi,
Hey,
Mike. Hi,
Andre.
Tanya.
How you doing?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm terrific. Considering, you know, I'm locked up here, but
Yeah,
I'm terrific. How are you dealing with the pandemic?
Well, I'm in lockdown here inside the house, and sometimes it's a really complicated because you can not go outside, and I live in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, so it's really hot here, you know, the weather, and sometimes it's a little bit tough to stay at home the whole time. Maybe I'm here 2 months.
But are you in lockdown?
Yes, we are in lockdown here. And,
And where are you
My
from?
sister lives in Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo.
yeah, I talked with you a few weeks ago.
Oh
and,
yeah, I told you that, right?
And it's very funny because I'm a journalist here and my boss is journalist too. And when I talked to him about it, he told me that he met your sister, Barbara. And yeah, my boss met her. He said that she's a lovely person. And sometimes her and her husband give great parties on their big house in São Paulo because her husband is an art collector.
I
works
know
with
that.
art. And sometimes they give nice parties with so many guests, of course, in the past, before the pandemic.
Wow.
But,
What a small
yes,
world, huh?
yeah, that's right. And it's about this is my question. Have you plans to visit Brazil, São Paulo, your sister here?
I've never visited Sao Paulo. I've been in Venezuela. And that's about it for South America. I never visited Sao Paulo, but you know, I hear it's beautiful. My mom went down and brought back pictures of it that were incredible. Everything was so green, beautiful.
Yeah. My other questions is I told you in the few weeks ago I had been in Kenya also because of your movie Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and one of my favorite places there, I don't know if you remember, is Amboseli because of the Kilimanjaro view behind. I don't know if you remember this place, but in my opinion, was the most impressive place that I have seen in my life. Do you remember when you shot several scenes of Sheena in Amboseli?
You know, I can't hear you because my dogs are fighting behind me.
Oh,
Just
okay.
a sec, I'm gonna give them a piece of my mind. Cut it out, YouTube. Hey. So what was that again when I shot a part of Sheena?
Yes, I had been in Kenya and the same places where you shot the movie there. And one of places that impressed me a lot was called Amboseli. You shot several scenes there. And what paid me attention is because the Kilimanjaro view. In your opinion, what place did you like most in Kenya where you visit to shot?
Oh, I loved the Aberdares. I loved Nairobi. I loved Lake Naivasha and Mount Kenya. We shot around all those places, and we would actually follow elephant herds in a helicopter. And when they slow down, we'd get out and shoot in front of them. So it was pretty exciting, and we brought a lot of wild animals with us. And one of them is living in Virginia right now, the elephant. I was the first one who ever rode the elephant. No one had ever been over it, and they didn't tell me.
Yeah, I told this for Mike about the animals. I talked with Charlie, one of the animal trainers, a few years ago, and she told me the only animal that stayed in Kenya was the hino, because he is donated for the park. But the other animals returned to United States. But I think Kenya is an amazing country, but in the other hand, very poor, much poverty there. It's something that impressed me a lot. I don't know if you realized the poverty there in Kenya when you had been there at the time.
Could you repeat that? My microphone's doing something funny. Lance?
Okay. one of the things that left me a little bit sad when I had been in Kenya is about the poverty. Many people poor, starving, and
Oh, God.
if you
Yes.
saw the same situation there when you had been there.
Yeah, well, there was Soweto, you know, there was still apartheid going on, but that was in South Africa. But in Africa, mostly what it was this. The upper class were white, the middle class were East Indian, and the Africans were the lower class, so it wasn't fair at all. But now things have changed. They've gotten a lot better for the native Africans, so that's good. But yes, I noticed it, of course.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tanya, Mike. You are gorgeous. I like you so much. And I hope you can visit Brazil one day.
Yes, I sure love to.
Well, thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you, Mike.
Thank
you. Stay safe. Thank you.
You too.
I think, let's see. I guess our last person left. If anybody in the chat room wants to come on camera, we have oh, there you are, Lane. I miss Lane. He's coming in right now. And then we're going to do some more questions. We're going to give away a DVD after that. We're going to give away a Sheena DVD today. Everybody in the chat room is in the bucket. So we're going to choose somebody here live who is here. And then go ahead and email me or text me or Facebook me to get your address. And Lane, let's go ahead and put your camera on. And if there's anybody else who would like to come on camera, please raise your hand real quick and we'll bring you in right before we end the show today on this Wednesday. Hello, Lane.
Good afternoon, Mike. Good afternoon, Tanya. Happy Wednesday. It's a beautiful day. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Pleasant surprise. I saw the email. We can do a live chat with you. And I'm like, wow, I've been looking at your Wikipedia page and I'm a fan of yours. And I was reading some information. I have MS. That's why I'm wearing the hat, multiple sclerosis.
Oh, wow.
So every day I can get up and get out of bed and talk to people and share my story and help awareness and fundraise. I grew up in Stamford, Connecticut. I now live in Boynton Beach, Florida. And my question to Tanya is, I'm reading your background. I'm saying, you know, it's interesting. Some people make a hobby of it. I make a hobby of it. You have a Jewish mother, I found out.
No, my Jewish father. My mother was English, Christian.
Ah, because Wikipedia is not user correct. It said your maiden name was Blum. But I'm saying, how can it say her mother's Jewish if her maiden name is Blum? Her father's name is Blum. Blum is a Jewish name.
Yeah, that's exactly right. No, they were wrong. It was my father who was Jewish and my mother was Christian, Episcopalian. But yeah, so, and I feel I married a Jewish man and I became really sort of very Jewish myself in terms of knowing a little Yiddish, knowing Jewish foods. Because I grew up in a mixed, you know, and my mother wanted me to be raised as a Christian. But of course, the minute I got out of the house, I married a Jewish guy.
Hey, well, it's not so terrible because I saw Cheryl, your coworker, colleague from Charlie's Angels, her mother's maiden name is Katz. My last name is Katz. My mother's maiden name before she married my father is Katz.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It said Cheryl's mother's maiden name was Katz, and it said Jacqueline Smith's father was Jewish.
Yes, I know that. I know that.
My mother has he's deceased. My mother's two cousins were in Hollywood. I said, Mom, how did they go into arts and entertainment? She said, Lane, I was younger than them. We all grew up in Brooklyn. Her cousin, one of them is still alive, wrote the theme song for the Poseidon Adventure movie. His name is Al Kasha. Al's brother's name was Larry. He passed away. He was a producer and director of the television show Knots Landing.
Oh, really? That was a good show.
Those are my mother's cousins. And I said, Lane, I don't know. I'm a lot younger than them. They went to school for engineering. Who knows? You know, you start to, I always, when I meet a successful person, hey, thank you for what you do or whatever. How did you get, where did you start? How did you get involved? And you hear an interesting story. You know what? I respect people when they share your story and then they can treat you like a human being. And like I always say to people, you know what? We can agree to disagree in life. We all believe the same. God forbid one day we're not going to be here anymore. We're all going to the same place, unfortunately. Live with peace. Be kind to people because you never know who you know and who they know, and you never know. They may know your family directly or indirectly.
Oh, you're so right. You're so right. It's just, you feel a lot better when you're kind to people. I always feel that, you know, why not be kind? It's just as easy as being nasty, and why would you want to be nasty anyway?
And it cost you $0 when I was on my trip to Israel almost 2 years ago. It was my first time back in 40 years.
Oh
I
my
met a nice-
God. I've never been to Israel.
You need to go.
I need to go.
I was bar mitzvahed there at the Western Wall in Passover, April 1978.
Really?
Like I said, I grew up in Connecticut, Stamford, which is not far from the Bronx, where you were, I guess, says Wikipedia, you grew up where you were born.
Yeah.
I'm from that area, you know, and like I said to the young lady, I went like this, she goes, what's that? I said, you see this? This is zero. I said, it costs you $0 to be nice to somebody. Why would I be a jerk to you if I wanted to have a friendship relationship with you? If you don't like me that way, that's fine. We can still be friends and be peaceful as adults, right? She goes, you're right. I said, that's all it is. I said, yes, I'm a dog lover. I see you have dogs.
I'm a dog lover too. I've got 2 dogs who are making a racket. Oh, they were making a racket. Now they're quieted down. But I'm a dog lover. I'm an animal lover. All kinds of animals.
What breed are your dogs? I'd like to know what they are.
Pardon me?
Breed of your dogs. What breed?
Oh, they're both mutts,
Okay.
but they're big. One's big and the other one's smaller, but she's very cunning. And she's the love of my life, I gotta say. She's my sidekick.
I understand because I helped my parents for many years. Well, we put down the last 2 about a year ago and 2 years ago. I helped my parents raise miniature schnauzers back in the day in Doberman pinschers. So I grew up with dogs my whole life, learning about them. It taught me a lot of responsibility. Right now I have a 75-gallon aquarium at home, which I have to repopulate with cichlid fish.
Wow, yeah, that must be difficult when you gotta give them away, huh?
No, fish, not as much because, I mean, it's a hobby. You got to maintain its work. But I have very hobbies and interests. But again, I like watching you and the reruns on that 70s show and Charlie's Angels. And I'm saying the women on those Angels, you women were only not highly intelligent, but gorgeous on the outside and probably on the inside. I mean, I don't know you personally. But even for you to do this says a lot about you as a person, because you know what? It shows you're a real person. You're down to earth, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's great to talk to you. It's great to talk to people. I really like this, especially when, you know, the situation is you can't go out. This gives me something to do, and it's nice to be with people, even if it's over the video, you know?
Right, and I do spirituality every day. I mean, I try to pray every day. I am observant in the religion. I mean, I don't do certain things I can't, but growing up Jewish, I grew up in a conservative Jewish household, but my parents always said, be fair with people, be kind and be understanding, be accepting. And you know what? I'm 55 years old. My parents are 20 and 22 years apart, older than I am. They always taught me that. Be fair with people, be accepting, be understanding.
They
To me,
were
it's
right.
like, we're all the same. It doesn't matter how much money somebody has, can't take it with you.
That's so true. They're right.
Well, thank
But
you.
anyway, I don't want to hold you up because I know you're busy, but I appreciate you folks today. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
Thank
you very
you.
much. Pleasure. Thank you. Take care.
Stay safe.
All right, we have a couple questions from the chat room or the chat list, and then we're gonna draw for the DVD, and then we're gonna go off air. The first question in here, well, Snake Spalding says he would like to say hi to Snake. Can you say, hey, Snake, or hi, Snake?
Snake?
Snake, yeah, that's his name.
Snake. Hey, Snake, how you doing? Slithering along, I'll bet.
That's great.
That was a bad joke.
Oh, no, I thought it was good. That was good. Elaine asked, how do you think the modeling business changed in your opinion?
The what?
Modeling business?
Oh, God. Oh, well, there's a lot more money than there ever was when I was modeling. I mean, now people get contracts for $100 million and stuff. So it really, really, really changed. In the 90s, I think that's when it all came. And I was at that point, you know, I had been acting for a long time. I stopped modeling in the late 70s.
Excellent. And Carolyn just wanted to give you a shout out. She's in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, but she can't get her camera on. But she wanted to say hello.
Hey, Carol, how you doing?
I'm just, okay. Then Anne from France, Comedy Academy, France says she voiced you, someone voiced you in Charlie's Angels. There you go. Sorry, I can't read and talk at the same time, Tanya. I can't do it. It just doesn't happen. But we are gonna, we have another Sheena, Queen of the Jungle DVD that we're gonna give away. I'm gonna do my camera. We'll do side by side here. It's this one. And all you people in the chat room today are in here. And I'm going, look at that, I'm making a salad, Okay, we have chosen one person. It is, let me see, I can't read my handwriting now. Something, H220, Havun, H2, oh gosh, this is going horribly. If you are still in the room, private message me, or I don't see the name. We're gonna draw one more, because I don't know, I'm not gonna be able to even get that person. And then Galaxy A30. I love when people don't actually put their names on here. Oh, here we are. Pro, okay. So Galaxy, we will send you a signed photo. And the other person, we are gonna send the DVD to. So please get back to me on the Facebook page. You can put it in the comments below. I love that people don't actually use their real names in these, so I don't really know who these people are, but please reach out to me. We will send you your items in a few weeks. And Tanya, we've done another one.
We've done another one. Thank you, everybody.
Great job. Stay safe, Tanya. What is Lance going to be making you for dinner tonight? Do you know?
Actually, chicken curry.
Chicken curry?
Thai. Just like we had when you came over.
Oh, from the restaurant or just making something new?
No, he's actually making it. He got all the condiments. He's a good little cook.
Oh, he is a good cook. That sounds great. Maybe you leave us right out the door and I'll come by and pick it up.
Okay.
All right.
Mike, didn't we have someone who wanted to ask me some questions?
We do, but we're going to do it after this. So I'll call you back in a second and get all those done. Yes.
Okay, great.
Great. So good to see you. Thank you, everybody who came into the room. Please share this when we post it on Facebook so everybody can enjoy it. And I am deeply sorry we could not get onto Facebook Live. Thank you, Zoom, for updating again the day before we go live.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, Tanya. Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Bye.